Leo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-February 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you beautiful people out there. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Leos. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My God, Spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for the beautiful Leos out there in mid-February? What's the vibe? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Leo gang. What is happening? Let's see what the energies are swirling around the collective in the ethers. What's going on? There we go. Nice and quick. All right, cool. So this is a very affectionate card. I feel like I've been seeing either this one or one that's very similar for you in recent weeks. We have that beautiful lady with the red headdress on, snuggling up to that dove. Really beautiful. I do like it. Super affectionate, loving, caring. So I feel like this can be a great card. Now, before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little more in depth about this lady here. Now, obviously, the one thing that really pops out at us here with this card is the white bird, the dove. Now, in symbolism, divination, when we see doves and white birds, they do represent spirit. So whether it's guides, spirit team, angels, ancestors, you name it, it's usually a love and light protective type of energy. So this card does indicate spiritual protection and having some sort of barrier or a spiritual protection bubble. So that's nice, especially if you're going through some difficult things, difficult times. It's like, no, we're here, we're with you, we're protecting you. There's a lot of reassurance here. But again, this is very cuddly, right? It's a very affectionate card. So for some Leos out there, maybe there's someone you want to give a big old hug to. Maybe you feel like you need a little bit of affection more so than you normally do, right? I know a lot of Leos in my personal life. They're very cuddly people. I'll give you a big internet bear hug because I know Leos love hugs, and that's what this card represents, right? So again, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, there's a softness here. Okay, so we're just going to put it down there. If not, it's just beautiful spiritual protection. But yeah, we'll let her chill there with the dove. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Leo gang. What do we got in mid-February? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. The reading was titled An Important Warning. Okay, and the reason I was given warnings in that reading, it did seem like there was a very disgruntled individual, whether it was you or somebody else, like it felt like very disgruntled or holding on to something. It wasn't the softest energy like what we're seeing here in the front. So it did speak about possible individuals you're connected to. So hopefully that doesn't continue to drag out for a couple weeks. I mean, you know how energy goes. But let's see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for the lovely Leos. What is happening for my friends? Please and thank you. Get this first card out real quick. There we go. Thank you. All right, Queen of Cups. So talk about affectionate, loving, caring, nurturing. These cards are almost mirror images of each other. All right, we'll get into that. The most emotional of the queens. So even if you don't have water placements yourself, like it's powerful. It's very, very emotionally invested in something. So we're just going to put her down right there. Let's get a couple more cards out before we really start talking about her too much. I mean, she could be a very good thing. Okay, we have the match. We have the King of Cups, a.k.a. Kyle of Cups himself without a beard. He's holding a goblet. He looks happy. He looks firm and steady there in the center. He's having a grand old time, and he came to pay a visit this week, Leo. Interesting. So we got the King and the Queen of Cups with very heightened, fully developed emotion, whatever way it lands. Like, these are fully developed. Let's get one more out here, then we'll start piecing it together. What do we got? What do we got from my lovely Leos? Thank you. Okay, 6 of Cups, all water. Now, I always pause a little bit when I see so much water energy showing up in the spread. I usually do, because especially for a fire sign reading, like sometimes this could be a little too intense. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, I know I've been commenting along the way. I always look at the elements first because it's very important depending on the sign we're reading for. And Queen of Cups, King of Cups, Six of Cups, tons and tons of water. Now, in tarot and divination, cups represent the realm of feeling, emotion. It's that unseen, subtle energy. Okay, so whether this is good emotion, fully developed, strong, positive feelings, it could go the other way, right? You know how emotions go. Sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. There's a certain fluidity about it. There's also great energy around creativity, but I usually like to see more of a mixture of elements. So when we're so water heavy, there's a certain intensity that's happening here, and there's a certain fluidity. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out, because this could go any number of different ways. Position number one, we are starting with the Queen of Cups. Now, we already spoke about her a little bit. The Queen of Cups, and remember, these aren't gender specific cards, like especially with the Queen, the King, the Six of Cups, we're seeing other people's energy definitely intermingling with yours. So whether it's people that you're connected to or people's energy influencing you in one way or another, that's something that happens with Leo energy from time to time. But yeah, the Queen of Cups, if it's not water sign, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Queens always represent the internal aspect of the suit. So we already talked about all the things that water represents. So you double down that energy. That's what you get here with the Queen of Cups. So again, full on loving, nurturing, caring type of energy. Could talk about romantic situations. Same goes with this King. And especially since we have the King and Queen and the Six of Cups, it's like either a very, very important person or a soul bond or a soul tie could be showing up here in multiple ways right now, where you were meant to be in someone's journey, they were meant to be in yours. The challenge that comes with this card, because of course it could be kind and loving, a shoulder to lean on. The challenge with the Queen of Cups is she can suppress emotions sometimes. She can suppress feelings. And there's always a danger with her of an emotional outburst or an explosion of some sort of emotion. Because it's like, I suppress, I push down so much that eventually it comes up like a volcano. So we definitely need to keep an eye on this for sure, because she can be very quiet sometimes, right? So there could be a situation or something that like you're not really speaking on it. That could very well be the case with the Queen of Cups, or you're just like keeping it to yourself for now. Moving to the center, we do have the King of Cups. So a lot of similarities with the Queen, except kings represent control of their suit. So it's interesting. We have the internal aspect and we have the controlling aspect of the cup suit. So remember, all the love and fully expressed emotion out of all the cups cards, when we see the King, we think the fullest expression. So of course, there's a strong intensity of emotion and feeling here when we have the King and Queen together. That doesn't often happen, especially since I only pull like 6 cards for my spreads. Getting both of them, especially right next to each other, that doesn't happen often. The good thing with this card, it's like, yeah, I got this under control. I'm balanced, everything's fine. There could be a situation where you're just seeing something for what it is. But notice we have the card of the control, we have the card of the internal. So I'm definitely getting a more reserved energy, like I'm keeping this to myself. I'm keeping this balanced. Now, the positives of this, we already went through it. When it comes to the challenge of the King of Cups, aside from the water sign energy, it can also be the suppression that we were speaking about here, but at the same time, the King of Cups in reverse could represent somebody that is not in control of their emotions. They're not in control of how they feel. They can't get a handle on it. They can't get a grip on it. It's like, I feel it, but I don't know why. I feel it and I can't help it. So this can be uncontrollable types of feelings sometimes when the King of Cups is here. Both of these cards represent really strong, intense, and true love when we have the King and Queen together. Sometimes the King of Cups could represent partying it up a little too much, so throwing a few too many back, overindulging in some things. No judgment here, my friends, but sometimes he shows up when someone is tipping a few back. On the back end, we have the Six of Cups, usually a very, very positive card. It's one of my cards of history. Now notice, you see those 2 children, they're sharing the cups with each other. So obviously this represents important people to us, along with the King and Queen of Cups. I mean, we can't get many more hints. Like, this is strong soul bond, soul tie, or karmic type of energy showing up here. Whether it's someone that was meant to teach you a lesson or you teach them a lesson. Now, aside from that, this is my biggest card of history, of the past, of memories. So whether it's someone that's been in your life a very long time, someone that you were very attached to, you've been through a lot of things together. Sometimes this card, aside from all the things about karmic and all the things we already spoke about, this can represent things returning. And the challenge with the Six of Cups can also represent bad memories, tough history, or things popping up that you might not want to. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Leo. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my good friends, please. What do we got? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message. It means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Queen of Cups. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Leo, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the Queen of Cups here? Please. What is she up to? Yep. The overflowing. Now, for some of you, this can be related to a conversation, a communication, one that either needs to be had or one that is coming in and it's coming in hot. It could get charged up. I feel like we have a severed message here where the energy goes a couple different ways. Okay, so in one sense, the Queen of Cups with the Eight of Wands could be very good. It's an emotional conversation of sorts, or one that comes in where it's like, we needed to have this talk, or we needed to discuss this. Like that could be very good for a lot of you, especially with the Queen and this. Like this is energy that's very sudden, very unexpected, like with the fire, and then her with the malleability of her energy. I feel like for a lot of you, this could be a talk that needs to be had, but you weren't expecting it to happen. So again, for some of you, it could be like an unexpected or surprising talk, but it does feel like it's one that needs to be had. I don't want to say just yet that this is someone's emotions coming up, but I will say if this isn't a conversation that happens, when we have the fiery Eight of Wands, that's that volcanic energy that I was speaking about. So anybody that's suppressing things a little too much, there is a little warning here about an emotional explosion of some sort. So if you've been pushing something down, pushing something down, pushing something down for too long, there is a potential for that energy to just whoosh, just all come out at once. Let's keep moving. Let's hope the good thing happens, right? So the unexpected or surprising talk, very possible. Let's see what the King of Cups has to say. It's either that or the emotional explosion, but let's go in. The talk happens, like I do feel good feelings about it afterwards, where it's like, yeah, no, we needed to have this, we needed to talk about this, we needed to address this. So let's see what the King of Cups has. Why is he here? Maybe some of you, if you're dealing with a tough time, maybe you just need someone to talk to about it, right? That helps. Okay, so we do have Temperance in reverse. So interesting that we have fire in the undercurrent. We have all this water on the top now, we have all this fire underneath, which is super, super intense. Now, Temperance is the Sagittarius card. Not sure if you're connected to the Saggy or not. Usually it's calm, it's chill, it's serene. So when I see it in reverse underneath the King of Cups, it is someone that is having a hard time dealing with a situation. So this could be representing a difficult situation, or somebody that's having a very difficult time regulating their emotions. Okay, because Temperance is usually so chill, so relaxed. Again, there is also this energy. Temperance does talk about refraining from things. Remember what I was saying about the King of Cups partying it up a little too much. When we get the Temperance in reverse under the King of Cups, it's somebody possibly throwing caution to the wind and saying, screw it, I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to do what I want. So listen, as a fire sign myself, I know sometimes we could get pushed to that point. I'm seeing that here in the center where it's like, you know what? I'm just going to have a good time. I'm going to do what makes me happy. Okay. And whether this happens or not, like I'm just going to do what I want. I don't care if it's excessive. It's just giving me that vibe too. So very odd. But again, I do feel there could be someone that's either going through a certain situation where they're having a very difficult time regulating their emotions here in the front. So we're going to keep going. We are going to keep going. Let's see what the Six of Cups has, then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Six of Cups here for my lovely Leos, please? What is happening? Thank you. Okay, another person. So we do have the King of Pentacles, and this does somewhat ground down the energy. For a lot of the Leos in this time, I'm not saying this is advice for you. I try my best not to give too much advice in readings because everyone's a free being. You could do as you wish. But when I see the King of Pentacles with the Six of Cups, it's like this is a reliable person. This is someone that can really ground you down, someone that you can go to for advice, right? Because the King of Cups, aside from earth sign energy, so you might be connected for a long time with an earth sign on the back. That could simply be the message for some of you. But the King of Pentacles is a little more solid than the King of Cups. Whereas the King of Cups, the energy's flowing, it's moving, it has subtleties to it. The King of Pentacles is like, I'm here, I'm dependable, you can depend on me. So for some Leos out there, maybe there is somebody that you find very dependable, that like their energy, their input, their insight could really ground you down or ground the situation down, where it's like, okay, you're giving me some insight about something. So I feel like this is a very good thing. So again, whether it's a long time history, there's a lot of people showing up in your energy again. So I do have to say, for a lot of you, your intuition could be heightened. How you feel things, how you feel and experience energies could be extra heightened with all these people and all these things. But I do feel like this is someone that can either assist you or help ground you or see something from a different perspective. It kind of feels like advice in a sense. Okay, so I feel like this is good, especially for the back end, because we had all this fire and water going on. The King of Pentacles, earth and water, is a much better combination. So this energy does seem to calm it down, which I feel is really nice, especially with all the energy in the front that looked like it could go sideways. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow card. Very intriguing mixture of energies for you this week. For some of you, this could just be all people around you, right? We're not getting many indications of too many fire sign placements here. But position number one, we do have the Queen of Cups with the Eight of Wands. Very fast-moving, fluid energy. I did say for some of you, this could be an unexpected or surprising talk, where it's like, all right, I wasn't really expecting to talk about this or talk to you. But also, I did feel it's a talk that needs to be had. Aside from that, it could be that emotion, like we see it here in the front end, where it's like, oh, this could potentially bubble up if you suppress it too much. So if you're going through a difficult time, Spirit might want you to have an outlet for all the intense energy you're feeling. Moving into the center, we have the King of Cups, usually pretty balanced and chill, with Temperance in reverse. Not so balanced and chill. So whether this is someone that's really going through a difficult time, they're having a hard time adjusting or controlling their feelings and emotions, but this can also be someone throwing caution to the wind, saying, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to do what I want. It could be a little excessive, right? It could be someone being a little too excessive on the front, in the center. Moving to the back end, we do have this Six of Cups, King of Pentacles in the upright. This is a very reliable energy that seems to ground the situation down. So if you are going through any complex things, this could be someone that either gives advice. This could be someone where like just their presence alone seems to like ground things and calm them down. Or you. I mean, it feels good to me, unless you're just connected with an earth sign for a long time, because that could be it. But yeah, please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's get you a shadow card here. Very intriguing reading for you, my friends. You're probably going to have some interesting combos. But yeah, I like to get you one shadow card here at the very end, just to see whether it's something within you, something you don't quite see. Let's get your card. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for the lovely Leos? Okay. Make it nice and quick. Okay, so we do have this repeat energy that we have right here. We have the Eight of Wands showing up in the shadows, so it makes sense, especially when within the reading we let off with an unexpected or a surprising talk. It shows up twice, right? Because remember, we're looking at the shadows here. Now, I'll talk about the shadow side of this Eight of Wands. Sometimes it's an energy that has too much pressure and moves too quick, moves too fast. So in this time, Spirit might be asking you to remain calm or let the energy chill out a little bit. Like, don't do too much when this card is here. But I also feel like it links into that unexpected or surprising talk. So there could be multiple for a lot of you. I feel like they're good. I feel like they're necessary. But yeah, this Eight of Wands could sometimes be temperamental too. So with all the things we're seeing with the emotional ups and downs, just watch out for being a little too up and down or temperamental in this time when this card shows up twice. So yeah, Leo, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The February subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out the availability and my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com, so we could get a little forecast for the next few weeks for you. But for the February subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Tarot of the Owls. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, if you could snap your fingers right now and wish for something, what would it be? It could be anything except more wishes. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.